Hello, you guys. Welcome back to Lighthouse Ministries, where we tell our testimony on how God led us from the darkness into the light.
I'm Joshua. This is Dejanay. We're married, and God have anointed us to speak to you guys about a couple of things. Today, we come to y'all to speak to you about some things that God have been showing us lately. Feels like in this time, it's just all over the place. We don't know really how to interpret certain things sometimes, but I noticed that God had been speaking to me about a couple of things, and I wanted to bring it to you guys. So, as I said, I'm Joshua. This is Dejanay. We're going to get into it in just a moment, but I just hope everybody out there is having a blessed day. I know it's been kind of crazy this New Year's. There's been a lot of stuff going on. I hope the Word of God is living good inside of you, and I hope that you all are indulging into the truth and nothing but the truth. So help me, Lord. But okay, first topic of the day that we're going to get into is God's stability. And I'm going to ask the question to her. And for one, excuse our baby. He is a little crazy sometimes, but our other children as well. But we just had to get the word out, so we didn't want to let the kids stop us from, getting the word out to you guys in time. So you may hear some children in the background, but I believe they're all going to be okay. But okay, it's God's stability. What does that mean? And I'm gonna ask you the question: what does God's stability means?
And the way he's been
I believe they're all going to be okay. But okay, it's God's stability. What does that mean? And I'm gonna ask you the question: what does God's stability mean?
and the way he's been showing me, I think his stability means no matter where you are, he's with you. I'm sorry, I have to think. So we're just gonna jump back to you, and then you come back to me.
So okay, yeah, God's stability. So what I mean by that is new Christians, speaking to the new ones, because I feel like if you're a seasoned Christian, you kind of know. But as a new Christian, you going into the wilderness or you coming out of the wilderness, you reach a place where you have to meet God's standards and God's stability. God will start taking away certain things from you, adding certain things to you. But sometimes he'll take away your stability, meaning household, job, resources, food, income, whatever you want to call it, because he wants you to trust in his stability, correct? Now, we have been in this season for a while, and we had to really learn that we have everything that we need because God is with me. It's something like a daily devotion that we say to ourselves, especially in the hard times. But I found myself not too long ago asking like, hey, I want to be stable. I want to be stable. I want to be a little bit more into the position like a man. Like I want everything laid out. I want a banking account. I want the house. I want the prosperity,
You know what I call it? Worldly states, being stable like by the world. So when I say that, it's more of like the car, the house, the perfect job, the perfect income.
And I'm not saying that God can't give you that.
He
Yeah.
also wants you to understand that the reason you have that because I gave it to you.
Yeah. So because of the world's economy and the world's stability, we have an image to what God may want us to do, but it's not always the truth. So sometimes God will put us in a position to actually only he can provide. Like he gives us our daily bread. He gives us what we need in the morning. He gives us what we need at night. He sees us through. But I asked a question: why can't I just have it all right now? Like why can't I just live abundantly right now? Why can't I just be flowing with like milk and honey? Where's the milk and honey at? And God was showing me that you have the milk and honey
Did you have me?
because you have me. I am the milk and honey. I can give you everything you need. You know, we talk about the Israelites and how God moved them into their promised land, and they had like everything that they needed right in front of them. It was a it was a part in the Bible where I know that the Israelites was complaining about some things.
Oh, I know. They was complaining about they wanted meat.
Yeah,
I believe.
yeah,
They was eating manna, which I believe is bread.
yeah, a certain type
And,
of bread, I
some type
believe.
of bread, and then God gave it to them though. Some of them died from eating
Yeah,
that
he
meat.
gave them so much meat that they died from it.
Sometimes
So
why would you pray for it?
yeah,
It might not be good for you, and sometimes God show you that. I'm gonna give it to you just to show you it's not good for you.
yeah. So the meat, and I take that as money for us. You know,
Yeah.
if God gives us, like, let's just say He gives what we ask for. Like, God, I need that money. I need the bag right now. Like,
It's not good for you.
but then He gives it to
It will
me,
change your
and then it
character.
destroys me. So with the vision that God gave to me, and He gave it to me one night, and He was like, I can't give you the expedited, like, you know, the high level of money forever. It only will come for a season. Because if I give it to you forever, you will no longer need me. And but so I give it to you for a certain amount of time so you can still want and need from me. Because you have to understand that I am your provider, not the world.
Yeah.
When you're one of God's children, you have to put yourself in a position to receive from Him only
God only.
and not the world. So it's kind of like when we get into a money crisis, the first thing that some people do is run to a bank. Like, I need a loan, instead of running to God and asking God to give it to me. Because God can do a miracle. You can wake up and be like, well, this light company is blowing my mind right now. And next thing you know, you have a situation. You call them, hey, I know that I'm late on the bill. I'm trying. They're like, what bill? Glory be to God. But
When we first came to God and He was teaching us some things, and we had a large light bill. When we first came to God and He was teaching us some things, and we had a large light bill. And we prayed to God. We prayed to God and like, God, we don't know what to do. And next thing you knew, it got all paid off, and we had extra behind the bill. So depend on God to give you the things you need and not the world.
like, we thought they was going to help us with a certain amount. They ended up paying the whole thing. And see, we was worried about that because we actually got the disconnection notice. They put the paper in the mailbox. We opened it up like, ooh, they finna turn out some 4 days. What are we gonna do? We crying. We got kids. We can't go through this. God, we need your help. And we called this place, and I actually looked at the light company app on my phone like a day later, and it was all paid off. It was like,
And I think they added extra.
yeah, they added extra, so we actually got a couple months free. Yeah.
And that's why you depend on God, because He knows what He's doing.
So if you God's children, He will take care of you. You don't have to worry about the economy. But it's a scripture. It's in Proverbs 37-9. I'll probably put it up here. You can check it out for yourself. A little Bible study for the day if you're worried about these things. It just says, it talks about a guy. He was just pretty much saying he don't want to be rich, but he also don't want to be poor.
Good.
He just want to be stable, because if he said, if I grow rich, I will depend on my money more than I would depend on God. But if I grow poor, I will steal, and I'll also offend God. So just give me what I need to go by. He don't want the riches, and he didn't want the poor. And in today's economy, when we look around at some of these pastors and some of these people, what they do for money is outrageous. Yeah, what they do for money is outrageous. For views and for income, and I never want to be that person myself. So I just realized that I'll take what God gives me, because God knows what I need, and He's going to carry us through. In certain times and situations, we be worried, we be just upset, and He was looking like He is just like, I'm over all of this. And his name is Elijah, by the way. No more. Whew, no more. But Yeah, so if you're in a situation where you realize not your income is getting low, your finances getting low, and God is like, hey, just focus on me, focus on God. God will give you everything that you need. You don't need the world's economy. You don't need the big fancy job. You don't need the big fancy house. I'm not saying that God can't give it to you, but if you're truly God's children, then He will give you exactly what you need until He is ready to bless you. Another thing, He's not going to bless you too fast. Yeah, God's blessings comes when He wants it to come. And it only comes when He sees that you're fit to handle it. We have been in the season waiting for a blessing for a long time now, and we have to get ready to handle it. Like, I can't bless you with that bad marriage. You walking around throwing cuss words at each other and hating each other for dear life and wanting to smack each other with a bottle every day that you look at each other. But it's just, I can't bless that. I can't bless that. So in a marriage, I really feel that, speaking for our marriage, for one, God couldn't give us the blessing right away. We had to get it together first. But yeah, I'll let you do the ending as always.
They rejoice in the hard times. Yes, I know it's hard, but that's the time where you get to know who God really is for you. It was hard for me to understand why is it so hard sometimes, but it's to get us to understand the true definition of our Father. And I know it's hard sometimes. We in a season of we got 3 kids. It ain't easy at all for us. And I understand those times can get really hard for you. Trust me, I cry. I go sad, but don't let that drag you. Because the enemy will try to get in your mind and tell you you'll never leave that season. Every season got an expiration date, and trust me, I know there've been seasons where it ended. So keep your head on and keep going and rejoice in the hard times, because that's the time where God is pruning you for that blessing that you've been asking for, or He have told you He's going to give you. That car, that house, that job, whatever it is. Excuse me. In that hard place, He's there with you. You just pray to God, and He will protect you, and He will cover you, and He will give you peace. And I know it's not easy, but I learned in those hard times, as you look back on it, it is for a reason. It's for your good. It's to grow you and prune you and get you prepared for that blessing. I learned one thing about God is that He's not going to bless you if you're not prepared for it. You might think you're prepared, but if He don't see you prepared for it, He's not going to give it to you just yet. So thank you guys for watching our video. I encourage you to keep watching and dig more into the Bible. Understand the truth. Always build a relationship with God first also. And I ask you guys to leave a comment if you want to comment about anything else. And we see you guys later. I hope you guys have a blessed day.